guys, welcome to the Legal Dish with Kuns. The Legal Dish is essentially my answer to the many questions that I get from a lot of you young aspiring legal professionals, asking for guidance in terms of the profession, how to get in, what the various options that are available to you are, tips, what my journey is, etc. So what I've done is to enlist the assistance of fellow young black legal professionals whom I know personally that are absolutely killing it in their various practice fields. And I've just asked them to essentially share a bit of their story, their journey, what their work entails, and hopefully that leaves you with a little bit more information and insight into what they do and how they got there. Also just to give you a realistic view of, what goes behind being a commercial attorney or a magistrate or in-house legal counsel, etc. So I'll be doing this in the form of short interviews such as this one. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you find it informative. So today I have with me Magistrate Mokoena, who also happens to be my cousin. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for giving us your time. I mean, we matriculated the same year.
Same year.
We started varsity the same year, although she didn't have taste in terms of varsity. She went to that other one down the road from G.
Okay, alright.
We did our board exams together. We wrote on the same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
We studied together. We did fun act together.
Yes.
Everything together.
Yeah, sure. So it's been beautiful to watch your journey and where you are now. I mean, a whole entire magistrate, your worship.
You guys are never gonna know this part.
Okay, so we're gonna get into all of that, but before we unpack that, just let's go way back to the beginning. Tell us, what kind of kid were you?
Maybe you should know, but anyway. I was a timid child, very shy. I think my voice grew as I grew older. I became vocal. I was a very timid, shy. Hardly got into trouble. I think I was a good girl. Maybe the manifestation of being a good girl, it manifested itself out as I grew.
Okay.
So yeah, timid child, come from a nuclear family, 2 siblings. I'm the girl child, boys.
In the middle child.
The middle child.
Yeah.
The rose among the thorns. I'm a girl child as well. So yeah, a bit of a tomboyish as well.
Yeah.
I think.
But you look at you. I mean, does this look like a tomboy?
I clean up well.
Clean up
very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's basically a timid child who then learned to get a voice. I think that's why maybe that's why it's so deep as well. I don't know. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I can identify actually, and it's so interesting, to grow up as a timid child. And I think some of you think, I can't go into law because I need to be born confident and whatever. She's right. She was actually quite quiet and all of that. But listen to her now, okay? Like she knows her story. Okay, and then so you went to that other varsity called Wits.
Okay.
Why did you study law? Why law?
Sure. I want to give you a bit of an explanation, a background. I did law because of 3 factors. The first factor is that I'm terrible with numbers. I suck with maths. I got a very disappointing symbol for my matric year, but I couldn't get less. I just passed matric.
Yeah.
I'm just not good with maths. That's number 1. Number
I think
2.
a lot of us lawyers are.
Maybe it's not good with maths.
Yeah.
Number 2, I got myself into a stick situation in my matric year.
Okay.
I was a prefect. It was a very stick situation.
Okay, overachiever prefects.
A bunch of students, learners, and I think how I maneuvered my way out of it, how I could argue reasonably, sensibly, and the principal was just impressed, like, no, Katlegos, just go, it's okay, you don't have to explain yourself further. So I think that was kind of a kicker. But the most important one that shaped me, I was more convinced that, I need to study law was a great example, which is my uncle. My uncle is a practicing advocate now. He's been in the private sector, government, all-rounder. He inspired me to study law, not only of the life he gave for his family, no, not that, but most importantly, how he was, how he presented himself, how he eloquently spoke, how when he walked into a room he commanded respect. So I thought to myself, no man, a young black girl, I can also do it because I admired that, you walk into a room, you command respect, people listen to you, people listen to how wise and intelligent you are. So
Yeah.
that
Sure.
that kind of like made that was the benchmark for me. And just to add on to that, he made us. I think it was in the early 2000.
Do you want to give a shout out to this uncle?
I will.
Okay.
I don't think you remember this stunt.
Okay.
Scene. We were at your house and he made us watch a movie called The Reasonable Man.
Yes, I remember
So
that.
I think he was trying to, enter us into this legal cult, to make us see that, what, everything is just law.
Yeah.
Whether it's traditional, whether everything is just law, it's regulated.
Yeah.
So
And I
after
still
watching
remember that movie.
exactly. So after watching that movie, I was more than convinced. It was also a lecturer in a session after that.
Yes.
What did we learn?
Yeah.
A reasonable man, the criminal law, how it's applied, and all that. I was more convinced.
Wow.
I was taken. Then like, no, I need to pursue it. It was even hard to get into varsity.
Yeah.
So yeah, Uncle
Sure.
Mashia, you're the one. I am who I am because of your direction and path. So yeah, shout out.
Wow, yo, that's such a deep story.
Yeah.
Sure, wow. Okay, so when was it that, did you know then when you left matric, when you're filling out those varsity applications, what were the options that you put there?
You started applying when you started applying
Grade
in grade 11.
Yeah.
First option was law. More than
Okay.
anything, it was law.
So
There was
you,
no way I could do accounting. I'm terrible with
yeah.
accounting. There was
So
actually
you
nothing
went
for
straight
me.
LLB.
I just did with LLB. I applied to VITS, I applied to UP. Those are two universities, and I told myself that if they don't take me, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll take a gap year.
Okay.
So my first option was law. Then
Sure.
obviously you just write for the sake of writing. A second option,
Yes,
psychology or whatever the
Yeah.
case is, philosophy.
Yeah.
So, but first option, down hard, right? It was just law.
Sure, a girl who knows what she wants. I like it. What were your favorite subjects in varsity?
Favorite
Not
subject?
subjects, modules.
Modules, courses. Say, I enjoyed taxation law in my final year.
Oh, really? I hated
enjoyed
tax.
insolvency law. I loved family law. I loved
Mm.
criminal law. I became a tutor.
Yeah.
I'm in my work now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And constitutional law.
Oh, that was yes.
Yes,
I enjoyed
and
it.
human rights law. Those
Yeah.
were my top five, 6
Yeah.
courses that I really, really enjoyed.
Sure, I also enjoyed constitutional law.
Constitutional law,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so this woman over here now, so she has worked at Legal Aid. She's worked in the NPA, National Prosecuting Authority. She has owned her own law firm, and she's currently a sitting magistrate, a whole entire magistrate. If I were to appear before my cousin who is my age, I would have to say, good morning, Your Worship.
Yes.
So, Katlego, a girl from the Val, who grew up like the rest of us. I mean, no one would have imagined this. Can you please tell us your journey from Wits, studying your LLB? How did you get here? But also take us through the different things you did, what you liked about it, what you hated, and yeah.
So, obviously when you're in varsity, there's career day,
Yes.
you see the big 5 law firms or top law firms, you see
Yeah.
people handling things.
Yeah.
I've always been an out-of-the-box individual. So
True.
I never actually went to go to those stands to see actually what I wanted to do. I never really did. I was not even interested.
Okay.
Because maybe I think that there was a certain criteria which I wouldn't even fit in because I was
Yeah.
different. I
Yeah.
felt that.
Okay.
Not to say I was inadequate or not, I just felt that no, this is not the
It's
path
not
for me.
me. Yeah.
So then, obviously, in my final year, I was a tutor for criminal law, and then I thought to myself, like, no, man, if there could be a way to enforce and to be part of, rendering and teaching people about social justice, it would have to be prosecution. So
Sure.
I took the exam in 2009,
Okay.
and I got appointed as an aspirant prosecutor in 2010. That's when
Okay.
I started my career journey.
Okay. So let's pause there. For people that are interested in the prosecution, so you didn't go to a law firm and do articles.
No,
You applied at the National Prosecuting Authority, and then how they determine whether you get in is to write an
you
exam.
write an exam, the next
Okay.
exam, they actually wrote it recently.
Mm-hmm.
So you write the exam, then if you make it, they call you for an interview, then you get into the program. So
Okay.
I think you become an expert for a few months, and then you get absorbed into a permanent post as a district court prosecutor. You start
Okay.
working your way up.
Okay.
So I took that route
All right.
instead of the thing of after varsity you have to look for articles. I just
Yes.
wasn't there.
Yeah.
So then after that, I realized.
So what does a prosecutor do?
A prosecutor basically, when the state, when you commit a crime against, you don't commit against Kundi, you commit it against the state. So the
Kundi
prosecutor
doesn't sue you.
Kundi doesn't sue in the civil sense of the word.
Yes.
The state would then have to prosecute you, and then you, the complainant, you come give testimony that Katlegos assaulted me on this day, and then that's basically what the gist.
Yeah.
Then there'll be an attorney who will defend me.
So she's Kerinal, guys. She was Kerinal.
I was, basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
So if you commit a crime, the NPA prosecutors does the job for you, does the job, and they take it
Okay.
further.
All right. And then from there, what did
So then after that, no man, I felt that I'm reaching the ceiling. I'm not even complete because my peers at the time, they were like doing the articles, you know. We were attorneys, I'm doing my articles, I've got to admit I'm an attorney.
Yeah.
So I felt like, no man, I'm not there. My goal is somewhere there, but I'm not entirely there.
Okay.
I need to go and score the whole nine yards. I then said that I'm going to resign from a permanent job. Yes, sounds crazy, I know.
As a
And
prosecutor,
then, as a
at the
prosecutor, Randburg Court, I was teaching Randburg Court.
Yeah.
And then I told myself, let me go back to where I come from, go give back to my community. I went back to the VAL, and then I joined Legal Aid South Africa.
Sure.
So a pay cut, going to stay at home, I
That's
started from
commendable.
scratch. Luckily, I only did it for a year because I did PLT.
Yeah. What is PLT?
Practical legal training. It's when they teach you do a short course. I think sometimes 6 months. I don't know the most.
Or a year.
Or a year. I did it for a year. So then it actually cut your articles by a year because you would have done the legal training. So I did that and I did my articles. I was at Legal Aid for a year and a half.
Okay, so you did your articles at Legal Aid. Okay.
So I did my articles Legal Aid.
And what does a Legal Aid attorney or article clerk do?
A legal attorney or article clerk is just the same as a normal candidate attorney.
Okay.
Basically, but it's more based on a criminal side because you go to court, you represent people in court, you defend people in court. In as much as you could as a complainant, you will come and say, Katlegos assaulted me, then there's to be an attorney who represents the indigent person who cannot afford at all.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know. So you're not paid by private people, you're employed by the state to assist people that would not have access to those services.
Who don't have funds to ensure that justice is served. So I did that for a year and a month, and then I completed and I qualified and I got admitted as an attorney.
Okay, and this was in which year?
2013.
Same
Yes,
year. Yes. Oh wow, we got
October.
admitted in the same year.
2013.
Wow. Okay.
So I then, fine, I'm done my articles, I'm done, I resigned from Legal Aid, I'm like, I must stay now. I then decided to take a gap year because I'm confused now, I don't know what to do. I then go work in like private law firms for a few months, and I'm like, no man, you know what, my beat is always on the pulse.
Okay.
I'm like, no man, I can open my own law firm, I can do this.
Sure.
Why make money for someone else when I can do it?
Girl.
I took the plunge, I jumped and opened my own practice with my partner, which was Portia, at the time, and then we just did it. It was brutally difficult.
Yeah.
As we all know that in this
Look,
career,
any business is hard
it's
to
hard.
open, but a law firm, and there's a lot of
Extremely.
red tape, there's a lot of things that you have to make sure you're compliant with. And you are these two black girls, like, what were you thinking?
Two black girls in a male-dominated industry,
Yeah.
we all know that we
Yeah.
can't.
We
we
can't
can't
shy
ignore
away
the-
from it.
We can't even the elephant in the room. So we did it. It's been 6 years on, we did it.
Sure.
So that's when my journey started. Then I started just proceeding, learning different types of the law, my practice, learning. But then I knew that my heart of heart, I knew that I told myself, I think in 3 years ago, 2018, that you know what, I see myself as a justice, if not more, a judge or
And you didn't tell us that,
justice.
eh?
I didn't.
You didn't tell, because when you
didn't.
got this job, we were all just like, wow.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
okay.
Although I shared.
So that's what they mean when they say silent moves.
Silent moves. Although I did share in 2018 at a Christmas with my family, I just told them that, you know what, my father asked us individually, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? I told myself, then I just announced that I'm going to become a magistrate. And before I turn 40, mark my words, I'll be a judge. So they all laugh, we'll see. No, sure, your worship, we'll see. Lo and behold, within a space of 2 months, I got called for this job and I got it. So
and I remember that time.
I remember the time. So this is where I want to be. I think this is where my career now is taking shape and form because I'm doing what I absolutely love.
Do you know, can I just say that I cannot see you anywhere else. And we've had this discussion before that the bench is yours. Like, you are now at the magistrate's court, but one day I see you in the high court.
I see you see me filming.
Yeah. Okay, before we delve into, your journey into being a magistrate, as you were at the NPA, as you were at legal aid, as you were in private firms, which area of the law spoke to you? Which part of the law did you enjoy practicing the most? Like you said, you did do different areas. So which was your...
When it came to practice, it was family law.
Okay.
Family law.
Okay.
Your divorces, your children court matters. When obviously in legal aid, I was more exposed to criminal law.
Yeah.
I perfected my craft, basically.
Yeah.
I perfected my craft. I know how to prosecute. I can take on prosecution. I know how to defend someone. So that's obviously that shaped me, that molded me. I would love to do. I'm still thinking about it. I need to do a master's in family law, children's law.
Me and you have been talking about these masters.
I need to move.
Yeah. We'll do it together like we did our articles and everything else together.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. So, but now, where I am right now, I need to learn civil.
Okay.
Yes, in my practice I did civil, but I just did it for the sake of doing it because I need to do it.
Yeah.
I want to delve and learn more about it.
Okay.
In depth.
But your heart, where's
my
your heart?
My heart of hearts, my heart of it's what I'm doing right now. If
criminal.
I do this grow, it's criminal.
Okay.
Cases.
All right. So now you are a magistrate, acting magistrate for now, but it will become permanent soon.
Yes.
We are calling it. What does a magistrate do? And you sit in the criminal court, am I right?
Why not sitting in the criminal court?
Okay. Yes. What do you do? What does a day look like?
A day of let me just define it, because it's a day of a family magistrate court and then a day of a criminal court magistrate. What happens in the morning? Get to work, eat my muesli, catch up on emails.
Yeah.
What I've started doing, I've started to read judgments.
Okay.
So either I prepare my judgment or I just read, or I do it at night as a bedtime story. In this profession, whatever it is, you just need to read and read.
Sorry to cut you off there. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people don't know that. Like, if you don't enjoy books, and forget it, because you need to be on top of case law, you need to be on top of legal developments. So that's a very good point. Thank you.
Then 9 o'clock or so, the prosecutor will walk in, your worship, we're ready to start, you can come through. I walk into court, there's a court room. I'm in a trial court, so my court, we just do criminal trials, whether it's assault, it's theft, it's wreck and neck. Okay, sorry. Reckless or negligent driving,
okay.
Couple of homicide cases. So we do things like defeated end of justice. I think we do cases like that. Your murders, your rape and robbery, those are in the regional court. I'm not there yet, but I will be soon.
You will, yes.
So that's it. The prosecutor will call the matter. We start. Was basically I adjudicate.
You're the presiding officer.
Exactly. Our system, adjudicate, presiding officer. You hear matters, you hear what the state says, you hear what the defense says. I come to a judgment. So that's the tedious part of my job, writing of judgments. Right? Because it's very important, because my job is the situation of your life is people's life in my hands. I need to determine your fate tomorrow, whether you have a criminal record, whether you're going to have a job or not. So that's the most integral, important part, which tends to be tedious, because it takes a lot from me to convict someone and having to shape their future. It's very, very.
You can't fluff on it. You can't. I'm having a bad day, and you have to always apply yourself. Yeah.
Look at the interests of the complainant, with the rights of the accused. Look at the Constitution, what it says. Every time, whatever my daily work, I'd make sure that the Constitution is just there to guide me. It has to guide me. There's nothing else other than that.
Yes.
So that's what I do in a nutshell. Then there's admin work. There's admin work. There's inquest. For example, when someone has died, we don't know what killed this person, the causes. They bring the inquest docket. I decide on whether it was due to someone's fault or not, or natural causes, whether it should be prosecuted or not. Okay. That's what I do. So it's a lot of admin work as well. It's not just going to court and it ends there. It continues. When I drive home, I think about judgments. I think about what happened today. I even ask my peers, my friends, like, guys, I got this situation, what would you do?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, sure. So it's not just robing, walking in, sitting on what I call her throne, and then walking out. There's a lot of
you need to listen.
background work.
You have to have a listening skill. You need to listen and you need to understand. And it's also, I love it because it encompasses me teaching. I teach a lot of candidates who are people they don't know what to do. I take them by them because I've been there before.
Yes.
I know what they're going
Do
through.
you remember like our first appearances, how nervous you are? And now you're the guy or the girl that people are nervous to appear before.
Yeah, and then
it's amazing.
Calm them down, take them through the processes and all that. So.
Yeah. Okay, which leads me to my next question. What do you love the most and hate the most about your job? And be honest.
What I love about my job, see different people from different walks of life come and tell the story. I think that's I take pride in that because it shapes me as a human being and lets me know that there are different people going through different struggles, and I get the privilege to listen and hear the daily struggles, whether it's an accused person or whether it's a complainer who's been wronged by someone else. So I get the human interaction there. Tell your story, tell me what transpired, what happened. That I genuinely love it every day. Irrespective, I could be tired, I could be exhausted, whatever the case is. People coming from different walks of life, they individually, you get to walk into their shoes and see the world in their eyes. That's what I love about my job. Hate. Hate. Maybe it's a frustration. You know when a case comes before the court, there's been different stakeholders who play a part.
Have been involved.
You go open a case at the police station, you write a statement. From there, it starts there. So it starts there, it comes to the prosecutor does this, it comes to court. So when a relevant stakeholder does not do their job, it irritates me. I hate it because the person
might not decide based on
what had transpired. You might find that here is a complainant who's opened a case, he's told the story, but then they didn't fully investigate their case.
You can't go outside of your
I can't do that. So then you find that you will have to acquit a person or convict a person. So relevant stakeholders, when they do not do their job, it frustrates me because at the end of the day, it heavily impacts on me, my work, and the individual who stands before this court.
Very true.
So that's what I hate about my job.
What expertise or skill do you think, let me put it this way, what kind of person would be great for this job? Number one. Number two, is there any extra things besides the LLB that you need to do if your views are to become a magistrate? What are the routes that you can take?
Sure.
So let's say someone
who wants to say I want to become a magistrate.
Yes,
Look, outside of this, I'm a different person. Like she can attest to it. I'm a loudmouth. I make people laugh. I'm a different person. So I think it just goes with people when they see a magistrate or a judge, they see a reserved person who likes to read, wears glasses, as a problem because they love to read, they wear glasses, they keep to themselves. It's not entirely that. What would make you a magistrate is if you believe, what I believe, if you want to become a magistrate, believe in social justice, believe that everyone deserves an opportunity equally, either whether you stay in Centon or whether you stay Kotipslot, you know what I'm saying. So if you have a passion for social justice and believing that we are all equal before the law, and you want to push for that, you want to administer that, you want to help people, you can become a magistrate. It doesn't take, you don't have to speak big English, you don't have to, because you find yourself in court, someone speaks Sotho, you can translate, speak Sotho and then let them speak their language. So you don't have to be redefined or go, I went to UCT, then I became a magistrate. You can go to any varsity that gives you a LLB platform, study LLB, do your articles. If you want to go become an advocate, you can also do that. Go become a prosecutor, give you that platform as well. What was the second question?
Sure, I'll remind you of the second question, but I think that's such good advice. I think a lot of people think you need to have a particular stepping stone or the big English thing that you mentioned. I'm so glad you said that, because people assume lawyers, we're all eloquent. We're not all eloquent. We just read and we learn and we as we go along. The second question was, if someone wants to go straight, like from varsity, and they want to go the route of becoming a magistrate without doing articles and, you know, the other things that you've done? What's the way forward?
My experience, unfortunately, you have to, because being a magistrate, remember, it's a serious job. So experience counts. It has to be there. So if you're telling yourself that I want to become magistrate one day, climb the ladder. You need to earn your stripes. I always use that.
100%.
You need to earn your stripes. Whether there are 100 lashes on your back, you need to earn it. So experience counts. Whether you say you're going to start as an article clerk in a corporate law firm, but you know that your heart and desire is there, go through it. Whether you want to go to pupillage first, you need to earn your stripe, be in the legal field, whatever legal field that you'll be in. It could be mining law, but then you say that I want to become a magistrate. Remember that becoming a magistrate is just, magistrate is in the district court. Then there's a regional court which does almost everything. There's a high court which does everything. You could be standing before a judge discussing mining law.
True.
So so go through the processes. Do your LLB. Go to your articles. If you don't know your articles, go to your pupillage. You need to practice. The thing that counts in this profession, you need to practice. You need to gain the experience, because you can't stand up and defend someone without not knowing what to do. You can't be on the bench without not understanding that attorney was before me, I know what he went through. The prosecutors before me, even though I know what they went through. Experience really doesn't count.
Sure, you know what I've taken from you, earn your stripes, and even if you have 100 lashes on your back,
you earn it, you proceed, you continue.
That is some stellar advice.
Earn your stripes.
That is incredible advice. And I think you're right. If you were to, and it's just like also being on the bench in the High Court, you cannot, I've had people ask me, if I want to be a judge, you know, what do I do? And it's literally what she said, you have to be on the other side in order to adjudicate properly when you are on the side.
A lot of judges, they've been advocates, practicing attorneys.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like even our constitutional court justice, Mokoena, he was an attorney, he was a prosecutor. So you just literally just earn your stripes.
Earn your stripes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then advice for a young black girl who is timid and comes from, she's a gym comes to, I feel like the vowel is like a plus. So from the vowel, who is looking at you and they're inspired by you, what advice would you give them, you know, whether it be in terms of how to conduct themselves at varsity or whatever, what advice would you have? And also just pitfalls to look out for.
Study law because you want to study law. You have a passion for it. Don't study law with the view of I'm going to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
Yes, the rewards are there, they're great. I'm not gonna lie, they're there. We see it in our peers, our colleagues. So study law, but then have the passion for it. So that when you know when you get rewarded, you know that you've worked hard. So study law with the sense of you need to push social justice. You need to push for equality. You respect our constitution. The constitution has to work for us and for everyone. So that's where that's where I could say that the best advice. Don't study law when you don't like to read. Like just rather forget it. Rather don't even bother, because you constantly need to read.
Yeah.
And at night, I judgments, I read them as a bedtime story.
I'm sorry, when do you read these judgments? Because we are on WhatsApp the whole night.
It's called multitasking, and also you guys say good night. I don't say good night.
When we say good night, then you
open thing.
Okay,
you know,
so
so
we need to.
And you know, smartphones, my judgments are there. You read, then the message comes in.
Now, girl,
you read
even
the
last
message,
night we were
then
chatting
you go back.
to
You go back. So you multitask. One thing, multitask is really also important. It's good.
Okay.
So don't study law for the sake of the rewards are there. They're great, yes, but there's the effort and the hard work behind it. It's brutal. It's not easy. It's not nice. LLB, it's not a simple course that you can just breeze and ease through it. There were times where I wanted to quit and give up, but I think maybe it's the passion and maybe yes, because the money for it. But yeah, but surely as you grow, you tend to understand that the field that you want to delve in and be and set your mark in. Sometimes there may be money, sometimes there may not be money, or you see money in your older ages. That's why we say that you don't do it for the money, do it for the passion for it. Pitfalls to look out for. I did my articles for a year, and then I didn't do it in a setting of a corporate law firm or a law firm, whatever the case is. I did it in a state law firm, meaning legal aid. So pitfalls to look out for if you want to do your articles. Professionalism counts. How you read, how you write, how you read, how you're speaking. I can I can let it slide. But professionally, meaning reading and writing, it's a skill. You need to constantly learn. We learn every day. We learn dictionaries.
And be willing to put in the effort.
We need to put in
care
effort.
about your work.
Care about your work. So we, as a legal person, you get ticked off by spelling mistakes.
Yes.
You know, by spelling a mistake or someone.
So I must just mention this on our WhatsApp group. Like, our friends hate us because we're like, girl, your grammar.
It's bad, you know.
Yeah.
So
we can't help it.
look, take care. You know, like when you're a guy, you love your car. The legal profession is to take care. Take care of
take
what
pride
you do.
in your work.
Take pride in your work. And one thing, if you're going to, we know that criminal attorneys that get so nervous to appear before magistrate, you will make mistakes. It's normal. And we know that there are magistrates who can be, judges can be harsh on you. You're not really not prepared. You're stuttering, whatever, because of your nerves. We've all been there. You will learn. You will get there. You will get by. Professionalism just counts. One thing that also wants to the pitfalls, it's hard work. For black females, we know in the profession that's male dominated. We constantly have to prove ourselves 10 times harder. You find that you're all in the criminal court, there's 5 accused, there's 5 males, 4 males, and there's 1 female. You can see the disparities, the prejudice as well of how they speak to you, of how they think that you won't do your best. And at the end of the day, you actually find out that your client gets acquitted, gets convicted. It's all about, so you need to believe yourself and believe that it's not easy. We're in a profession that it's taking change, it's shaping up, because even the Legal Practice Council, the chairperson is a woman, Ms. Katlego, I think. So
it's change.
So it's change is happening. Don't be afraid of change. So start believing yourself, and know that you can do it. If I can make it from a chick or Seboekeng, I mean anyone can. And believing, if you're going to tell yourself something, do it and believe in it. No one, if you cannot hype yourself, no one else will. Honestly speaking, it becomes weird. It becomes weird when someone hypes you. Oh my God, you're a magistrate. It's a bit weird. But then if you can't, self-belief is your own adrenaline. That's what I go with all the time. Self-belief is your own adrenaline. You make or break whatever yourself, basically.
Those are such pearls of wisdom. I'm just thinking when you're talking about when you appear. So my first appearance was in the Pretoria Magistrates Court in front of an Afrikaans magistrate, and every attorney that had appeared before me was Afrikaans. And then here comes a small black girl, the gown, I'm literally drowning in it, and already is greeting me in Afrikaans. And that's already the first barrier, where I'm the first one on the court roll. I'm maybe number 12, who's like, good morning, not goeiemorgen. And already, he's like, so it's small things like that that you need to overcome and stand. Like,
believe in yourself. So it's a tough journey. I don't think someone would say that, I did my article was a breeze. It's a tough journey. Maybe the environment can be nice, but then there's no. It's a tough journey. You go through it, you power through it, you just go through it. I think maybe I also went to the NPA, Strategical Government Department. It had its challenges, because you always have to be on beat, preparing, reading your dockets, not saying there's some taking things, because you're dealing with people's lives at the end of the day.
Sure. I'm even learning from you, and I've known you forever. And how do you, I don't like using the word balance because I don't think it is ever a balance. There's times when, one suffers at the expense of the other. But being a magistrate, you're a mother of 2, you're a wife, you're an amazing cousin and friend. I've actually never met anyone more fiercely loyal than she is. But all these caps that you wear, and you're respected in the family, how do you juggle all of that?
Support system. Having a support system. It's good and well when you believe in your own dreams, but if you don't have the support system that will make you thrive in that environment, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. I'm married to an amazing person who understands and
shout out Kalimba.
who understands and believes that my well-being is important and my dreams are important, they're valid. And he's always pushed me like, no, go do it. Go do it. If it's not going to work out, you would have known, you would have learned, go do it. So balancing is a support system and people wishing you well. If you surround yourself with people who are just like you, trying to better themselves, better people's lives, better their families' lives, you take off the energy from each other. So it's the support more than anything could be. It's the support, knowing that you're not in this journey by yourself alone. You've got colleagues, you've got peers, you've got friends, you've got family My family, you can see we're legal eagles. We need to increase that, by the way. Recruit some more people. So basically, it's just support. I don't think I would have burned down. I don't think I would do it. You know, if someone can say, let me take the kids for you for a while, relax, break, whatever the case is.
It's needed,
It's needed. So
yeah.
it's basically, that word for me is just the support system and drawing positive energy from people who believe in your dreams and your well-being. I think that's it for me.
Okay, sure. All right, do you have any last words for aspiring legal eagles?
We need people in legal fraternity. The law changes all the time. There's acts that have been there from 19 whatever, but then everything, the law changes all the time. We need voices. We need people who can come with how we see different things. We learn. I mean, we've got laws of customary law marriages. We need representation. We need more females in this fraternity. My dream, my goal, is to see more female magistrates, more female attorneys, more female prosecutors, where we can actually put our marks, see our names in the law books. I mean, we can't all be magistrates, but we can all effect change, create the law. Normal people, the normal men on the street, they create the law, they effect change, they change the law. So if you're willing to adapt and willing to learn something different, the law is your space. Law is life. You know, everything is law. My uncle once told me that everything, when you look at the world, everything is indeed law, which is true. Whether you walk into a classroom, you reprimand school kids, and you know there's the set of systems and rules. That's the law. So embrace, if one wants to study law, embrace it. Take pride in it. It's not going to be easy. Be ready for the mental challenge, and you will just go. Just do it. The law has so many diversities. It's so diverse. There's mining law, there's maritime law, there's everything. If you don't feel like criminal law, if you don't feel like family law and children disputes, it's fine. There's maritime law, there's a lot you can do. So the diversity of it also just reflects of who we are as a country as a whole. So
Sure. Powerful.
And remember, self-belief is your own adrenaline. If you don't believe in yourself, then
sure. Yeah, that's very true. And in the spirit of Heritage Month, we've been told that our hair is dry and dull. We're not gonna get spicy, but just as a backdrop, we're in Heritage Month in 2020. We are still fighting these kind of battles. Do you have any comments? Any thoughts?
I think we need to stop seeking validation from other people, most importantly. Our hair is our identity. It says a lot about our culture, our history. It defines who we are as women. So if someone's going to say your hair is dull and frizzy, it doesn't take away from who you are. And as part of Heritage Month, we get to look into a world of traditional beliefs and their cultural values, which is diverse. So we should stop seeking validation in things that don't really matter. We need to look into ourselves, take pride in how we look, who we are. Whether I choose to wear my natural hair and then relax it, I don't owe anyone an explanation about it. If I want to put gel in it, it's natural, whatever the case is. I don't owe anyone an explanation. If I want to wear a weave, then so be it. It's about you, how you want to represent yourself, who you are, what you identify with. And no one should self-regulate our bodies, or no one should regulate our bodies or how we look, whatever the case is. So take pride in how you look. Wear your crown. It is your crown after all. Look up and wear your crown with pride, whether it's a weave girl or whether it's it's bantu locks, do your thing, whether it's gel, 2 lines, wear your hair with pride. It reflects who you are, the woman you are, who you're going to be.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Okay, Bali or Paris? Bali. Okay, I would have chosen to
go there, by the way. So Bali.
And then a beautiful bouquet of flowers, very thoughtful and very personalized, or e-wallet.
Money gives you freedom, guys. Money. Flowers gonna die.
Romance,
flowers are going to die, and then you have to throw them away. E-wallet, you give me the freedom to choose whatever I want to buy. You are thoughtful, romance. The romance is in the money. The romance is in the rand. The romance is in the value of the money, girl.
The romance is in the rand. I like that one. On that note, on that note, thank you so much for your time. I mean, I've known you since since. But I have drawn so much from this interview, and continue to shine, continue to inspire us. You have no idea how much of us you inspire. You're so humble, you don't get it, and you're doing amazing, amazing things. And this is just the beginning. So thank you for giving
When
us
you
your
come
time.
to my constitutional court chambers,
Ooh,
you know,
girl,
yeah.
I can see it. I can totally see it.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was enjoyable. It was fun.
Yeah.
Cool.